All right, we are live. It's probably not going to be quite as many people as usual today because it was so short notice, you know.
Oh, I'm sure they'll trickle in. That'll be fine.
Yeah. Plus, I like hanging out with you either way. And, yeah, this definitely has to happen because I'm falling a little bit behind with these 12-hour shifts. And well, 9 people. That's already more than I was expecting.
Yeah, I
Greetings, my
told you.
friends. All right, let's. Going to start sharing my Photoshop window. And Nix, you know what to do. Just keep an eye on those comments for me, and let's keep this conversation going so I don't get lonely.
Will
Talk to my
do.
computer screen all night.
Well, everybody's saying hi right now, so.
Awesome. Let me see if I can check on that. All right. Thank you, Mr. Davis. And you are the guest of honor tonight, other than Nix herself, Mr. Davis, if you're still watching, because this image that I'm about to create is directly being made for the story that you narrated for me the other day, and that's coming out tomorrow. I'm almost done editing that. So, all right, I am the Red, Jasmine, Nikolai, Marie, Son of Anarchy, Kitty, Maria, Sydney, and Little Snips. Jose, jumping in. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you guys here. Appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hang out with me and my dear friend Nix.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. We are going to be chatting and answering some questions, and whatever happens will happen. But my main agenda for tonight is getting at least one drawing done. So this is a drawing that I did the other day for that Hellhound story. I'm just going to reverse that. That looks kind of cool, actually. Let's see here. I never reuse backgrounds or anything, so I'll just
That's
get rid of all.
actually really cool. It's like I downloaded your story, so I didn't even get to see like the graphics or anything that you did with it. That's awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. It was that one was a lot of fun because that's one of the few where I got to sit down and talk to someone and look them in the eye and ask them all the questions I needed to ask without having to worry about the limiting factor of going over email and over again asking questions and trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Story is the one that was narrated. There's going to be 2 stories in one. It's actually a pretty long video coming out tomorrow on my channel featuring Mr. Davis, and it's chapter 2 of Unknown Cryptids, featuring 2 stories that people emailed me. One of my old friends, Randy, and another gentleman named Raphael. And these creatures that they described do not seem to fit into any known category of cryptid that I'm aware of. So I wrote those stories up and I'm putting them together for you guys to get that information out into the world, and maybe somebody knows something more that I don't. But Raphael gave me basically a drawing, like a sketch of this creature, and you'll see my rendition of it. He gave me a kind of like a rushed sketch that he did, which was a good sketch, but I want you guys to have a little bit more detailed look at what this bizarre thing must have looked like. So I'm going to start with the landscape. Hopefully my computer will be powerful enough to handle this webcam stuff, and that's too big, and do the drawings that I want to do at the same time. So wish me luck. It's going to be kind of a woodsy little environment. See, I'm already having to kind of compensate for some of the limitations of this Surface Pro 3. I'm currently working on certain things. If I try to use them, features, it just doesn't come out the way I need it to. So I'm just kind of starting these tree structures and everything. I might get a little lazy eventually and start playing with them and reusing them and flipping them and stuff like that. We'll see. There's all kinds of tricks of the trade when you don't have all day long to do a picture. You guys let me know if you have any trouble seeing what I'm doing or hearing what I'm saying, because kind of going to be focused in for the most part on drawing for the time being, at least for the next 30 minutes or so. And
that's why I'm here.
Absolutely. And
So
let me just thank you, Nix, for coming in at such short notice. I just told you like 2 hours ago that I needed your help, and you jumped right on it. I appreciate that very much. All right.
Oh, Lex Acosta finally caught a live stream, so I guess this is their first one.
All right. Welcome, my friend. You are, your presence was missed in the past, but now I have you here, and I appreciate you. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll take that and flip it around. See what that looks like. You know, this is a good way. See that? Just doubled the density of this little forest in one fell swoop. Now I can kind of play with a couple little things and just give that illusion of depth.
Lance's creepy reading. Hi, X. Remember me?
Lance's creepy reading. That I do. How are you, my friend? I hope you're well. Okay, let me see here. Maybe I can cheat just a little bit more. I don't advise cheating in other areas of life, but when it comes to drawing quick drawings for your YouTube channel, cheating is not bad. All right, so I kind of want to know how everybody's day's been going. Let's start with you, Nix.
Well, I just got off work a couple hours ago, so I'm home. It's good.
That is always excellent news. It's good to be home. And I'm not home right now, but I probably will be in a few days, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm done being lazy. Time to start drawing again. Actually, I'm going to leave these different layers here. Make a couple more, put that one all the way in the back.
Michael wants to know what led you to making videos.
What led me to making videos? I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I actually got inspired by when I first got this current job that I have, which I try not to mention it too much because I know that you guys don't know what it is, and it's kind of annoying when somebody refuses to tell you something, but they keep talking about it. But it's relevant, so I'll mention it now. When I first got this current job that I have, I did a lot of driving constantly. Every day I was driving about probably 2 to 3 hours a day. And I don't know how, but somehow I found B Busta, his channel, and started listening to his creepy stories and the uh, deep web stories and things like that. And I've always been, I kind of come from a long line of storytellers, basically. And I've always kind of wanted to do some kind of YouTube channel where I'm talking and hopefully teaching. What I was thinking initially was kind of teaching something. I didn't know what, though. I wasn't sure what I would actually like to do. And when I heard B Busta and became a fan, I eventually started thinking, man, you know what? I'm not much of a writer, but maybe I could do something like this. I tried looking up stories on Reddit and all that kind of stuff, and it didn't. I don't know why, but for the life of me, I could not find good stories on Reddit, and that is one of the main reasons why I now write all my own stuff, which works out well for me now that I, you know, actually have some level of competency in doing that. But it took a while before I was able to write in any way that I would feel was presentable to the general public. And if anybody's curious, what I'm drawing are tree trunks right now, because this is going to be kind of like a forest. And it might look kind of weird right now, but it's going to look hopefully kind of cool before I'm all done with this. So yeah, I mean, B Buster was one of the biggest influences that kind of showed me, like, you know what, just go for it, man. You can do it. A lot of people are doing it, and you can be one of those people who do it. And I never thought about it as, hey, I want to make some money, or I want to do this or that. I want to get to this high level of whatever. I just said, I love telling stories. I feel like I can train myself and learn how to write stories and do cool stuff, and maybe even teach somebody something or help somebody with something in the long run. Who knows? And the rest is history. Here we all are. And none of that would have really ever meant anything if it wasn't for you guys. So, I like thanking people. So thank you. And thank you for the question. That's a topic I enjoy talking about.
Lance wants to know what kind of editing software you use.
Well, for editing, for my videos, I use HitFilm Studio. I have a HitFilm Studio 4, I think it is right now. And that one, it's kind of an expensive program. I bought it for a totally different purpose several years ago, but it works really well for graphic effects and things like that. And I haven't noticed anyone else in the narration community using it. It's very powerful. It's actually probably overkill for what you would need, what I typically do in my YouTube videos, but that's how I make my fancy looking intro. It's how I do any kind of particle effects that you see on my channel and things like that. That's how I do it. I use HitFilm. And there is a free version if you wanted to check it out. It's called HitFilm Express. And I haven't used it very much because I already have the paid version, but it's pretty good. I recommend checking it out. And then for the audio, I obviously use well, not obviously, but I use Audacity like most other people who don't want to pay an extra $200 a year for Adobe Audition. And although Adobe Audition, it's got a lot of powerful special effects and things like that. You can't knock them for that. But it's just expensive. I do pay for the Photoshop though. That's only like $120 a year. I am an avid and frequent Photoshop user. So, and I have been since I was like 16. So it kind of works out. So you can't really do this effect, this warp effect, in very many other apps. Let me see here. I'm gonna undo that and add a little bit more detail to that sky before I warp it like that.
Little Snips Awesome wants to know if you'll ever do a face reveal.
Hey there, Little Snips. I will someday do a face reveal, but that is a question for the future me, and it's highly conditional. I mean, I will probably do that if I ever get to like a crazy, insane number of subscribers. It basically would have to be that me doing it would be very there would be meaning behind it, you know, not just doing it just to do it. It would have to be that, you know, there's a whole lot of people that would really be impacted if I did that, you know, and not that the number of people that I have watching and listening to me now is not a significant amount. It's just that, you know, I mean, I don't think a lot of people do face reveals at the beginner level of YouTube stuff, you know, because if I do it too early, by the time it could really be cool, a real cool thing, it'll already be done, and everybody, it's, you know, it's already going to be old news. So I want to be careful about that. That's all. It's not that my face is something special. I mean, I do have my face on my profile picture, and it's at the beginning of every one of my see how crazy this thing can get. Kind of just want to get this effect going where it kind of looks like a dome sky. But yeah, I mean, you guys you pretty much know what I look like, except for seeing both of my eyes at the same time. But on my channel, if you look at like my channel trailer, my profile picture, and the two intros that I've had so far, I'm on my second one, and I'm working on thinking about a third. You can basically see my whole face. So, you know, I don't feel like it's a huge deal that I do a face reveal anytime soon, if you know what I mean. How about you, Nix? You haven't done a face reveal, have you?
Oh God, no.
I'm not even quite sure I know what you look like.
I had my picture up on my Skype for a little bit.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
I
know.
do remember that.
Okay, yeah, that's me.
I wasn't sure. I figured it would be you.
No, that
So
was
why?
just some random photo.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, maybe it's your cousin's Skype that you use. I don't know. I don't like to
No.
assume. No, okay. Well, fair enough. What is stopping you from doing a face reveal?
Just privacy. I mean, that and we're narrators. And I like the old-timey, like, you know, the radio stuff, like back in the day. And you never saw those people. I mean, come on. It was just all audio and wonderful. So use your imaginations.
Yep. And, you know, we happen to have some people with some pretty good, strong imaginations, you know. So that's definitely going to work in their favor while they wait, you know, for the inevitable day when at least one of them finds out what our faces look like.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. At least not on my end.
Well, hey, that's completely up to you. And let's name this Sky.
Let's see. Do you want to know about like the shout outs and stuff, people just commenting on how wonderful you are?
Well, let me look at that real quick, just so because I would hate for somebody to say that and I just ignore it.
Okay, well, this one dude or person, I don't know, guy or girl, but Kinky Can and Corona, awesome name by the way. Dude's voice is like velvet, so that's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, make sure if you guys well, almost divided by 0 right there with the screen, but that's fine. We can get past that.
Do you have a favorite creepypasta?
You know what? It's been quite a while since I've listened to a creepypasta that I haven't written. Just because there's two things. I don't really have a lot of time to listen to creepypastas anymore, especially in the past several months. Work is like ramped up like crazy. But also, when I listen to other stories, being that I'm writing my own stories, it actually tampers with my mind in such a way that it could basically influence the way that my mind works when I'm writing my own stories. So I kind of try to avoid that most of the time. And I hate to say that because it makes it seem like I just don't like listening to. I love hearing other stories, but if I overindulge in that, it could definitely be trouble for me. It will change the feel of my own stories that I do myself, and I don't like for that to happen.
I totally get where you're coming from. It's like I won't listen to another narrator do creepypastas if I know I'm going to do it because I want my reactions in my narration. I don't want to subconsciously absorb theirs and make a duplicate.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It's part of the beauty of having different voices in the community.
The Morgan Freeman of YouTube. That is high praise.
You know what? Every time someone compares me to Morgan Freeman, an angel gets its wings, I think. Because that is I can literally not think of a more sought after compliment for anyone who speaks any language. Like it's for anyone whose thing is speaking. If you speak and that's like the thing that people are commenting on, Morgan Freeman is the one you want to be. So thank you. I mean, if you're a black guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't think you want to sound like Morgan Freeman.
I don't really want to sound like a dude, but
yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Lance wants to know if I write a creepypasta for you, will you narrate it?
Unfortunately, my friend, that is not my. It's not how I operate. Oh my goodness! I think my pen might be having trouble here.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. Okay. X, are you using a mouse?
Oh no, I could never draw with a mouse. That's a terrible idea. I don't recommend it. I'm using the Surface Pen on the Surface Pro 3, and this thing is one of the best devices I've ever done art on. Well, the best device so far. But I don't know if you guys keep up with tech stuff, but the Surface Studio, the desktop version of this in the Surface line, is going to be completely amazing. And I'm kind of going to do whatever I can to get my hands on one of them. whenever it's proven itself in the field. I'm not going to buy it on day one or anything, but it looks pretty awesome, and it's going to definitely improve my ability to entertain you guys, and that I'm going to be able to do more recordings. All my drawings will be recorded if I do get my hands on that, because it's much more powerful than this machine that I'm using now. I'll be able to record all my drawings. I'll be able to stream a lot more smoothly. I mean, right now you guys don't realize, but I'm having to kind of deal with this computer trying its best. It's working like a champ, but it's just not able to handle all of the demanding processes that I'm trying to have it do right now, such as drawing and then also streaming and showing you the screen. It's kind of asking a lot from a tablet computer, basically. One of these days, we're going to rectify that, and it's going to be awesome.
Dark Waters is here.
No mouse. Oh, Dark Waters. Good evening, my friend. Glad you can make it. What's he got to say? Anything?
What's up, X?
It is all good, my friend. Glad to hear from you. Just up here drawing a few images for tomorrow's video. Okay. Very
Mr.
nice.
Davis wants to know if you can do an impression of Morgan Freeman.
I actually wouldn't dare to do that.
That is a bit intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but I have taken a voice acting class. A couple months ago, I took one with a pretty famous voice actor. And it was a web-based webcam class and everything. It was very, very informative, very enlightening. And I eventually got around to doing pretty good, but that is beyond my scope, especially when I'm not prepared to do it. No one warned me. Maybe if somebody told me that, yesterday, I would actually have some lines memorized or something, but I am definitely not prepared to do that. All right, let me see.
Lance's creepy reading. Is your singing voice just as good as your narrating voice?
If I ever develop a singing voice for some crazy reason, I will let you know the answer to that question. It's a good question, but I do not sing. And there are good reasons for that, because I'm just not a good singer. Hope I didn't disappoint anybody, but I make no qualms admitting that I am not the person that you want to hear singing.
I'm right there with you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. People ask me that pretty frequently, though. I think they've even asked me that during other streams. All right, so I just want you guys to know, I did not plan this out at all. So I really am kind of just, usually I have some idea of what I want to do, but today I just figured I would rush into this completely unprepared and see what happened. So whatever comes out, just know it is it's pretty raw. All right, I think I have an idea.
Brooklyn Masters. Would it help
Hey
you
there.
put out more content?
What would help
I'm
me put out more?
assuming the other tablet thingy you were talking about.
Oh, good one. Yes. Well, as far as more videos per week, I don't think so, because the biggest thing, the biggest kind of drawback to what takes me so long to do videos is, number one, my job is very time consuming. And in order to record and edit 2 videos in 1 week, each video takes probably about 6 hours of work, up to 6 hours of work to do. So yeah, I can't really do that on top of my 40 plus hours of work with my real job. But who knows? One day, I mean, if I ever get rich somehow, you will probably be seeing two videos or 3 videos a week from me. It just takes a heck of a long time to get those things done. Yeah, and if I was going to do that, it would be fun. Don't get me wrong. But I probably would get burned out pretty quickly. Just working 12 hours or 16 hours a week doing YouTube videos and constantly narrating and constantly writing, that could get pretty rough. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do now. And this is not going to make that much sense visually. Well, visually, hopefully it'll make sense anyway. But as far as understanding what is going on in this image, you might not get it until tomorrow when you listen to the video and listen to the story that Mr. Davis has to tell for you. This Raphael, the guy that actually experienced the goings on of this video, he did a really good job explaining what it was that he saw and what was kind of what was going on in the environment as a result of that creature being present. And believe me when I tell you, I mean, I challenge anybody. I'm about to start drawing this creature in a second. I challenge anybody to tell me what they think this thing was. If you guys have a guess, or as I'm drawing it, if you have some kind of input as to what this thing might have been, you do me a favor and let me know, because it is pretty crazy. It's pretty different looking.
Son of Anarchy has offered up his character impressions for you, if you need that in your videos at any point.
Character impressions?
Yeah.
What kind of
he says he's pretty good.
Oh, is that right? Okay, well, we'll see about that. I'm in regular contact with Son of Anarchy, so how about you send me an email and we'll see what happens with that, my friend. All right. All right, this thing is going to just kind of slowly take shape. I'm going to go silhouette first, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail. This is yet another part of the drawing that I have not planned. Kind of just, I know what the creature is supposed to look like, and I'm kind of playing it by ear right now as far as my own design of it.
Mr. Davis asks, are you talking about the story I narrated for you? That thing was terrifying.
Yes, it is what I'm talking about, and I definitely agree. And I'm actually currently working on doing the sound effects for that. And here's a hint, guys. This creature basically just sits off in the woods somewhere in, I believe it's Michigan, and laughs at the top of its lungs for hours on end. And there's a little bit more to it than that, but that is what you're dealing with this creature. It's pretty. I'm trying really hard to get an appropriately creepy sounding laughing sound effect. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in my later videos, every sound effect that you hear was I made it myself. So when you hear, like in the Hellhound story, when you heard the door slam, if you listen to that video, that was me slamming my hotel door. So if you haven't listened to it, go at some point when you have a chance, check it out and listen to that. And there's a part where the kid slams a door to try to save his mother, and just in your mind, think about the fact that that was my actual. I pulled out my microphone and freaking slammed the door in my hotel multiple times until I got a good take, and that's how I got that sound effect. So that might be an interesting little tidbit for you next time you're looking for something to do.
Lance's creepy reading. Would you ever want to work together sometime?
Of course, I thought we were in talks about that already, Lance. Send me an email and we'll chat a little bit more about that. All right. Okay.
Big Sweet Tooth wants you to describe the creature.
Well, this creature. Well, I will describe it to a certain extent, but I'll leave. I wrote a pretty detailed description of it, which was expertly read by Mr. Davis in tomorrow's video. So I don't want to steal any of his thunder. But I have my theories about this creature, and I kind of talk about it in the kind of the post game of the video. Sometimes when it's relevant, I kind of give my thoughts on the elements of the video, like whatever happened in the stories and how I feel about it. And this is one of them because I basically have to. These people are coming to me trying to find out if someone, anyone, myself or anyone else, knows what it is they're dealing with. So I give my input on that. And this creature, it's all I'll say at this point is that it lives in the woods, sort of, and it just sits there and cackles and laughs at the top of its lungs before mysteriously going someplace else. So that's about all I'm going to say about that. And other than that, you'll just have to rely on what you see as I'm drawing this. I hope that's enough, and that you can patiently wait until 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow to hear the full account of what this creepy little guy gets up to.
Wow, nobody has any idea. We've got like an eagle hybrid. We have a Sketskis from the Dark Crystal.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just creepy. The hands get me. Oh my god, I hate hands. Hands freak me out.
Yeah, hands will do that. I mean, if something's going to grab you or do something terrible to you, most likely it's going to be using those little crinkly hands.
Ugh.
So that's why you gotta keep your eyes peeled for those. So want to highlight that hand, so I've put a little bit of a blur right there.
Maria wants to know if it has wings.
It does not. Not well. If it does, they're not visible, and that's kind of a clue to the nature of this thing. It's not going to make much sense to you until tomorrow, but it's definitely this thing is not something you want to run into. I don't think you'll.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
guys will all know. You'll know tomorrow.
That we got goblin and we got bird hybrid.
Goblin. That's. I mean, that's. I don't see why not. It's pretty goblin-like. I'm hoping that someone will have like a really obscure reference to some bizarre folklore or something like that. And that one person who's heard some weird Scottish legend or something will be able to jump in and save the day and let us know what in the world this thing was. Because for all we know, this thing is still out there in the woods behind Raphael's house.
I would move. I would move so far.
Yeah, well, it's a summer home, so he only goes there, a couple months out of the year. But I mean,
Even then.
yeah, I don't understand. I mean, if it was, I'm not even going to say that. If it was my house, if it was my summer home, I have a feeling that somehow there my home would have burned down by now. Just so that I didn't have to go back there,
Hmm.
or at least just sell the doggone thing. I would not be hanging out there.
I don't know. I mean, would you feel right selling it? I mean, a family can move in.
Well, I would sell it, tell it, and I would make sure that they know that there's something in the woods back there. And if they don't care, maybe Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think
I
I could
just
do
would
it.
really I would just really need to get that off my hands. That's all I'm saying. I don't know the logistics of it or anything, but it would have to be. Don't want that. There we go. That's enough lens flare.
Well, we've got a demon creature now.
There, well, that's. I'm sure you're not too far off there. Unfortunately, I actually don't know, so your guess is literally as good as mine, my friends. Now, there's some elements about this creature that I think I need to make the beak a little bit more, or the whatever this part of it is, a little bit more slim. All right, there we go. So whatever this thing is, I mean, you might be able to tell if you just happen to know exactly how my mind works. You might be able to tell by the coloring that I use when I'm finishing it. Do you hear that motorcycle out there?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, I've been complaining on Twitter throughout the week about how just like motorcycles and helicopters and race cars and stuff all going to town right outside my window whenever I'm trying to record. And it's I'm not a person who gets angry very easily, but when the fourth helicopter flies by my window as I'm trying to record one line, it does it got to me a little bit. A couple times I got a little frustrated.
Yeah, I have the helicopter problem too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What do? You just
You wait it out. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do. It's a helicopter, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been many times that, especially if it gets bad and they're like circling around, because it's the police helicopter. I'll just have to pack it in for the night. I'll be like, "You catch your dude. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate because, especially when you have a compressed time frame, or you can't just get up and record whenever you want.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit of detail on this thing. Just for some visual intrigue. One of these, it's funny, I didn't even know that I did this, but one of the sound effects that I just created for this upcoming video, there's another creature in it that's basically kind of a giant centipede.
Ew.
And a giant centipede that has another bizarre ability that I'm not going to spoil for you, but it's even more terrifying than just the fact that it's a giant centipede. I'll leave it at that. That's being a giant centipede is not the worst thing about this thing. And by giant, I'm talking like it's tall enough to reach the ceiling of your house. If it's standing in your room.
Wow. No, I don't do bugs either, so I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm right there with you, sister. Because I don't mind bugs, but if it's a bug that's taller than I am, and it's in my room at midnight, then no, I don't do that bug. Okay, this is looking okay.
If you had a lightsaber, what color would you want?
That's probably one of the best questions I've ever gotten. My lightsaber, I would want a white lightsaber.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Pretty easy for me. I mean, I know they exist. I haven't seen one. I think I might have saw one in a comic or something. But white light is my favorite color of light, like the daylight colors when you get with LED light bulbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love the just pure white ones. And I would definitely rock a white lightsaber if it was available. I'd probably use a lot of kyber crystals though, because in order to create white light, you need basically all the colors of the spectrum, or at least like all the colors of the rainbow. And that's my minor Star Wars nerd showing. I'm not a complete, fully bona fide one, but I dabble.
I am the red. They gotta go. Good night, everybody.
Hey, good night, my friend. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. So, do you have an opinion on that, Nix? What lightsaber you would use?
Oh, you guys are probably gonna kill me. I have watched all of the Star Wars movies. I don't dislike it. I'm a Trekkie. I'm sorry.
I think we've spoken about this before, haven't we?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm slightly not surprised about that. and I feel like I
Why?
would if this was the first time. I mean, I
Oh.
don't know if this was the first time I ever heard it, I probably would be kind of surprised. I remember being surprised about it before in the past,
Although we probably did talk
but
about it at some point.
yeah, I think we might have talked about it a while back. Yeah,
Ooh,
but
here's
hey,
one for you.
more power to
Skyrim.
you.
Are you Imperial or a Stormcloak?
I
Mm.
am neither. I don't choose alliances with that. I am my own dragonborn, and I've actually sunk a pretty decent amount of time into Skyrim over the past week, and I've decided that it's my favorite game of all time. So I do like me some Skyrim. Currently playing as a high elf because normally I choose Breton, but I'm a conjurer, so you know it's my thing every time. It's what I do. Have you played Skyrim, Nix?
Not
We talked
enough
about. I
to
think we talked about
comment.
this before too. Yeah, not enough to give
Yeah,
the highly proficient answer that I just gave.
not at all.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll get around to it. It's really a great game.
I've been trying to, but I've sat and watched people play it, and the menu system seems a bit daunting. So,
Uh,
yeah. And I tried Fallout, and I was like, I can't. So, I don't know about Skyrim.
yeah, Skyrim. It's certainly a lot more dated than Fallout 4 is, but I like Skyrim better than I liked Fallout 4. I have Fallout 4, but I just didn't. I kind of gave that up to play Skyrim again.
Mm.
So it's all about what you like.
I was actually going to start Bioshock, so I have high hopes
BioShock
for
is
that one.
good. It is good. Your high hopes will not be disappointed.
It seems like something I'd get into. So,
Mhm. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to let me know what you think about that. I played the first two. I haven't played BioShock Infinite though.
mhm.
I heard it was excellent though.
Well, I have the first two. I just need to play them. So,
Mhm. Do you have like the remastered versions or something, or do you have like the
no,
Xbox
they're just
360 version?
they're just old copies, and
Oh
I
yeah,
borrowed them, and I'm like, yeah, I can play this. 4 months later, still haven't touched them. So,
yeah. Hey, happens to the best of us.
I know.
See, this thing is lagging on me. All right,
Let's see. What was your favorite kids show growing up?
my
Didn't we kind of
favorite
cover this
kids
last
show.
time?
Yeah, we did. We're getting a lot of repeat questions, but hey, it's different people, so why not? Let's do it. My favorite kids show. I feel like I was able to answer that pretty quickly last time, but right now I can't think of it. I think well, there are some shows that I really loved, like Speed Racer. I know it was before my time, but that's what I grew up on. Used to watch that a lot. Watched Gumby when I was really little. Superman, the original, the old Superman show with George Reeves.
Mm.
Watched that a lot. Used to run around with the cape on and everything. Let me see. Thundercats. I watched that a lot.
Oh, I loved Thundercats.
Yep. Thundercats was cool. Um, Silverhawks was like a rip off of Thundercats or vice versa. I'm not sure which one came first, honestly.
I don't know either.
Yeah, but it's you know silver, all silver and gold, and people with cowboy hats and mechanical birds in space. Who doesn't
Hmm.
like that? I still actually have the toy of I think it's Laserbeak or Laserhawk. I'm not sure what the bird's name is, but I just found it the other day at my parents' house.
Oh wow. Have you seen the new Kong trailer?
Yes, well, I saw the first one that came out for the new for the new Kong movie. Is there another one? I'm not sure.
I don't know if there's been a second one
Maybe
that
there
came
is.
out.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool though.
It does,
I'm
doesn't
definitely
it?
going to see it. Hmm.
Ooh, are you a fan of Red Dead Redemption?
I've never played that. Kind of wanted to when I was over. I think somebody had it when I was in Afghanistan, but I never got a chance to play it. There's always people hogging that one Xbox that we had
It looked really
over
good.
there.
I played Gun when it first came out, and I liked it. And Red
Hmm.
Dead's supposed to be better than that, so
Was Gun also made by Rockstar Games? That,
honestly, I don't remember who made it.
hmm.
It was really nice though. I liked it. Well, I like cowboys, so it's like the
Yeah.
whole Western thing, which I'm really into Westworld now. Oh my God, have you watched that?
Oh, I just watched the first episode of that, and I will be diving into it
Oh, you have
in short
to.
order.
It is
It
so
looks
good.
amazing. Yeah, it's definitely looks amazing.
It's actually, for
I
me,
liked
it's
it.
actually replaced American Horror Story and The Walking Dead. It's like I
Oh
wait
yeah,
for Westworld. Yes.
that's pretty high level if it's anything that replaces Walking Dead to a Walking Dead watcher, which I am not anymore. But that's pretty good, pretty high level. But yeah, that's what I did a IMDb search on that,
Hmm.
and I found out that it's actually based on a 1973 movie. Did you know that?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, Michael Crichton did it.
Oh, really?
Hmm. It's his
That's
book.
I saw that and I was like, wow, I did not know that at all.
I don't know like how much the TV show deviates from the movie or I guess the book or whatever, but dude, I'm digging this show. This is awesome.
Yeah, the show is amazing. So much like high level A list talent in that thing too.
That's
I
for sure.
noticed. All right,
I missed a lot
all
of
right.
questions. I gotta go back.
Hey, anybody who's watching, I hope you guys know that it's extremely difficult to keep up with some questions. It's really a wonderful problem to have when there's enough there's enough people watching and listening that they're giving us so many questions that we can't keep up. That's really awesome, and especially on a day where there's such short notice. I just told you guys like 3 hours ago that I was going to be doing this, and several of you have come out, and I appreciate that. I don't know how many people are on right now, but
Nah, around
whoever
20.
whoever it is, that's I was expecting like five, so that's that's awesome.
Are you a Doctor Who fan?
I am not a Whovian. I've
Oh my
never
God.
never seen a full episode of Doctor Who. Are
Wow.
you like Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, well, I used to watch it when I was little, so
Okay.
when they brought it back, I was like, "Oh my God." And then it was really good, and I was like, "Yeah."
What do you like about it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the adventure part. I mean, the doctor himself, I guess he is kind of running away from his responsibilities and everything, but I
Mm.
don't know. I mean, sometimes you just got to get away. And if you have an adventure, why not?
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty fun lifestyle. Just escaping your responsibilities while having adventures.
Yeah. And the whole regeneration thing. I mean, come on. He's got a pretty
Yeah,
pretty
who
long
doesn't want that?
lifespan.
Hmm. Okay, now I see why that wasn't working because I wasn't selecting that layer. You see, even though I've been using
Dark
this
Waters.
program for
Oh,
years, I still make silly rookie mistakes every so often. Dark Waters,
Dark
what's up?
Waters. Yeah, he wants to know where did you get the story about the thing in the woods?
It was from one of the guys that's been emailing me for quite a while. He sent me another story about some nightmares that he had. I haven't done that one yet because honestly, the nightmare stories are not, it doesn't seem like what everybody really wants to hear usually. So I kind of saving those up for maybe one big video. But this gentleman named Raphael sent me this story in my email, and it was very interesting, very compelling. So I kind of jumped on that. And because of the fact that this was one of those stories that I just could not wrap my head around what in the world it was and what I was looking at when I made the mental image of this creature in my head, I decided to throw that into the pot with all the unknown cryptids that I just have no idea what they are. And with that, I realized that I have maybe, I definitely have enough of these to constitute at least one more unknown cryptids video. And I'm going to have Mr. Davis over for that one if he has the time as well, you know, which I'm hoping that he'll be able to make some time for that in the near future, because these things are some of the most interesting stories that I really come across are ones that I just can't explain. I always love that challenge, you know what I mean? So that's where this one comes from. And this picture will make so much more sense when you guys listen to the story tomorrow. There we go. All right. Okay. Anybody have any more guesses recently as to what this is?
Not really. They're on a Doctor Who and cartoon kick right now.
Oh, hey, those are two very worthy subjects.
You know, I actually missed the nightmare stories that you did. I like the dream ones.
I've yeah, I like them too, especially when it's one that's really really interesting. You know, that has a lot of symbology that that we can basically analyze and figure out what's going on in this person's mind.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm the first person to put one of those up for my own dreams. That's how my channel started, and I always like I always like finding out about stuff like that with other people as well. Let's see if I can get this right. Okay, go with that for now. And then
Corey White wants to know if you'll be collaborating with Dark Waters on a story.
I am always down to collaborate with Dark Waters. We do a lot of different projects together. It's I haven't had a chance to hear it. I sent him something the other day to go on a radio interview because I don't know if you guys know, but Dark Waters goes on a lot of radio interviews because people want to talk to him. People want to know what he's all about. And whenever he goes on the radio, he kind of, in a way, takes me along with him. He usually, offers to bring out one of my stories that I've recorded or something like that. And he did that for me the other night. Haven't heard it yet because been working these big old 12-hour shifts, but that's kind of how we roll. He and I have been working together for a long time. So that's not going to stop anytime soon. So yes, there's no active plans right now, but I'd be willing to bet that it'll happen one of these days pretty soon again.
Let's see. We got a couple of people that have had to leave. Maria and Dark Waters. So.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, Kitty has a good idea. She says
What's
it looks
that?
like raw, but she doesn't, or Kitty doesn't know of any Native American myths that correspond.
Ra. Oh,
Hmm.
that's a pretty good point. Trying to find a good combination of colors here. And these that's a very interesting point, Kitty.
Yeah, I like
Hmm.
that. I think they're actually pretty close.
Hmm. You know what? I kind of like this little effect of this cut across the sky
She.
here when I do.
Kitty is a she. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know and I didn't want to assume.
Yeah, that's the way to go. You were right not to assume because you never know, and it's like looking at somebody and saying, "Hey, just assuming you know their nationality or something like that." It's their gender is very similar to that, so it's always better to err on the side of caution and humility, and just don't act like you know.
Yeah.
So you did well.
Oh,
Okay.
Brian's world. The drawing reminds me of those masks used by doctors in old times, the plague doctors.
Yep, that is part of the description that I give in the actual video. That this creature kind of looks like it has a beak-like protrusion, similar to the plague doctors of old. So you are right on the money with that, Brian. And also, it's good to see you. I didn't know you were here. Let me see. I'm trying to kind of create a unique effect here with these colors.
Big Sweet Tooth says that he's been having a reoccurring dream that he was turning into a werewolf and the military captured him. Or them. I did it again.
Hmm. I think Big Sweet Tooth is a male.
Honestly, I refer to everybody as a dude, so I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's well. I mean, I think technically, wait, is it 51% female or male in the population of the world? I'm trying to think of what your odds are in being correct with that.
Oh well.
I can't remember what the demographics are right now. It's probably actually 51% female. So you
More
might
than
be better
likely.
off. You might be better off assuming that they're female instead of male. Hmm. I don't know if I think maybe this is a little too strong. This is one of my favorite parts of the drawing process for my videos. Just messing around with these little color gradients. I discovered this technique by accident earlier on, and now I love playing with it. This is probably the most that I've done with that so far.
That looks creepy.
Yeah.
Which I guess is
So
the point, but
yeah, that is the point. And this creature, in my opinion, is a possible extra dimensional entity. That's why I'm doing all these different colors and this weird like fractured fractal like pattern. I'm trying to keep it kind of on the simpler side. I don't want it to be too busy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Oh, it looks
but
good.
thank you. Or maybe it's the fact that I just saw Doctor Strange and now
Do not spoil that. I've not seen it
oh,
yet.
I would never even think of it. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel superheroes, and they did him uh, quite a bit of justice. I was very happy with it.
Really? Oh, I'm good. It's
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad it's a good movie.
yeah. It's very good. You know what else was good? The
Hmm.
Arrival.
I haven't seen that one either.
You should check that out.
I love alien
That
movies.
that movie is much deeper than you think.
Really?
It's I mean I love Doctor Strange, and I was talking to people about Doctor Strange after I saw it, but when I saw The Arrival, that's the movie that you spend like a couple of hours debating and discussing the implications of of the events of that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, very thought provoking.
I'm gonna have to go see it. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, yeah. I had to pull myself away for that. I'm glad I did. Let me see. I might just have to forego the little signature this time. No, well, that's good enough right there. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't plan ahead enough, far enough to make sure that I'll be able to have my little signature logo in there. But I figured it out. Just give a little light presence on this side there. All right. Does anybody? Well, wait. We started at 9, so we've been on for an hour.
Yeah.
So far. That's good. I don't think I'm going to do the other picture. That would take forever because of the 100 legs that I would have to draw on a giant centipede. And also having many of those legs articulating around the bars of a crib would be even more time consuming. If anybody was interested in a little hint as to what that centipede is up to. Spoiler alert. It's terrifying.
Ooh, Corey White has a good one. If you could pick one cryptid to be captured, studied, and proven, which one would it be?
That is an excellent question. It would have to be, just because of who I am and what interests me, the dog man. There's that, because that is one of the most bizarre and fascinating cryptids that I've heard of. The fact that it's a humanoid canine creature, that would completely revolutionize what we think about the way, the way life has developed on this earth, and the way creatures are able to survive outside of human detection and influence. If there was an actual dog man, because I've seen things that I have no choice but to assume that that's what it was, but I saw them from very far away and in a time and place where I really had no way of doing anything about it other than just talking about it. So if we were to see that and capture it and study it, that is such a great question. Actually, it makes me a little excited, even though I know that it's not going to happen anytime soon. But thanks for that question. That was really good. What about you, Nix?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I mean, my first thought was, okay, Bigfoot, because, the whole missing link thing, and, we'll just put that to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love the ocean. I would like to see, like, maybe Nessie or something,
Classic.
Yeah.
That's another good one. I mean, you know how many people would feel so validated if Nessie was actually discovered and proven to exist beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I know, right?
That would be life-changing for so many people. You know how many bets would be won and lost?
Oh my goodness.
That would be something else.
Little Snip's awesome. Mr. X, they dislike you because you've watched 2 movies that they want to watch.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? There's no need to hate on my movie watching abilities. If I could send out gift certificates for everybody who's watching this video to see those 2 movies, then I would. But unfortunately, it's not possible at this point. That's something I would probably do, though. in like, in the future, if I ever started making money from YouTube, I would say, hey, oh, you guys haven't seen this movie? Anybody in the chat who hasn't seen the movie and wants to see it, send me an email and I will send you a online gift certificate for Fandango or something like that.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I would totally do that. I'd be like the Oprah of YouTube narrators.
That would be cool. I love giveaways.
Yeah, so I would love to do one day. Okay.
Corey White, dude, you are on it. Okay. They said that they would think that, somebody would want to see a gray alien be proven. And I was thinking the exact same thing, is aliens considered cryptid? But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I would consider an alien a cryptid, but I would certainly love to see proof of aliens that beyond my own personal experiences, that anybody's personal experience in isolation is pretty questionable. So,
I think I saw a UFO once, but it was really weird. Like, it wasn't like the regular, like, they have it almost looks like a fighter jet or something like that. It wasn't that. We were driving down a highway around where I live. Middle of the night, close to winter, I believe, because it was really cold that night. We're the only people on the road. So, and that's not unusual because I live in Oklahoma. But there's this light that's tracking through the sky so slowly that I have the person that's driving pull over so I can look at this thing. It's glowing this kind of an amber orangish light. And as we pull over and I'm looking up at this thing, and it's not far off. I mean, I can see it. It's within decent distance, I guess. It looks like a freaking hamburger. Like, it's got like the oval shape to the top and like the oval shape to the bottom, and the lights are illuminating from the middle. And the only thing that I'm thinking of is, if this is a real UFO, why does it look like this? Why can't I have the cool one? But dude, it just tracks through the sky until it like kind of goes behind a tall hill and I can't see it anymore. There was no sound. It never sped up. It never changed direction. It was just really weird. So I don't know what that was.
Well, you know what? I am both fascinated and hungry now.
I know, right? But yeah, it looked like a freaking hamburger.
Oh, wow.
It's like, no, I didn't.
That's interesting.
It was just really weird.
So, well, I mean, it looked like a hamburger in such a way that you could see individual layers, or was it just like shaped? It had a flat bottom with a domed top, or?
Okay, you know how you have the top bun and the bottom bun? And there's just like the thin like light that's in the middle that was illuminating the top and the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
But yeah. I know, right? But yeah, there was like no sound, nothing. And I would think as close as it was, I would at least be able to hear something. Because we have planes. I mean, I live not too far from an airport anyway. And the planes are always going around. The helicopters, everything. I mean, I know what that sounds like. But there was nothing. So, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, when I saw, that's interesting, because with what I believe was a spacecraft that I saw was similar. It was I mean, it was oval. It was more like a football shape, but it was maybe 20 feet above my head.
Oh my God.
It made no noise whatsoever. No, and it was even like right above some trees. And even though I was like 10 years old, I was like wondering, why is this thing isn't, the trees aren't moving at all. I don't feel any heat or wind, or there's no sound, nothing coming from it. It's just there.
That's crazy.
That's
too close for comfort. Oh my God.
Exactly. That's my exact sentiments right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. You guys probably don't need to watch this part. Hope you guys enjoyed that drawing stuff. Let's see, I'm gonna try to think of what I should name the title of this. True about unknown cryptid encounters.
Oh,
Part
if you could
two.
bring one fictional character to life, who would it be?
Fictional character. Hmm. Well, I might have to be selfish because my favorite fictional character is the Green Lantern. And the person who can create a Green Lantern ring is one of the Guardians, maybe Ganthet, I don't know. And it's kind of lame, but if he existed, then, and I was, I was responsible for him existing, I could probably ask him for a Green Lantern ring to make me a Green Lantern. And so that's probably what I'm going to have to go with this time. One of the Guardians so that I could become a Green Lantern in the long run. Just thinking forward right there. What about you?
Hmm. It's probably gonna sound stupid, but Dorian Gray?
Ah, why him?
I don't know. I think just the concept of it. I mean, if that was real, would be very intriguing. I would
Is it
like to know
something
more.
is it something you would seek yourself?
I like the whole immortality thing. It's
Yes, yeah.
it's something that I really, really enjoy. So,
I've often wondered about immortality. Like, would I want to be immortal myself? I think I would.
yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with
I
you.
think it would be interesting
It's like people, they
just to see where humanity goes in the
exactly.
long run.
It's
I
like
think it'd be
everybody's like,
cool.
well, you'll get bored, or, you know, I don't know, or it's not worth it because our short lives are what actually makes our lives worthwhile. And I'm like, I don't feel that way. I would
Yeah,
love to see the end. I would love to see what we do
everything.
with our lives, what we do with, you know, our world or worlds, you know?
Hmm.
I just want to see what comes next.
Yeah, I I'm right there with you with that. Yeah, I definitely would like to see where humanity takes itself, where the Earth ends up. I mean, only thing that I wouldn't like is if humanity just drives the Earth into the ground and we have no plan B, and Earth just dies, and I'm just wandering the wasteland of Earth forever by myself. That would kind of suck. So now that I think about it, I mean, there's actually a high possibility that that'll happen one day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
unless we
I don't know.
actually like destroy it, like past the point of anything ever being able to live here, I would still like to see what comes after us. I mean,
Oh well, yeah. When the
if,
world reclaims itself,
yeah, and I'd be willing to wait.
hmm, I would do that only if I had another person with me.
Really?
Yeah, I would not want to be the last person alive because I've been that in my dreams before, and it wasn't. I mean, it was okay at the time, even though the animals all wanted to kill me. But I couldn't imagine doing that forever. I mean, imagine 50,000 years of anything. It probably drives you nuts after a while. But hey, if I go crazy, then I won't even know the difference anyway. So who cares?
That's right. Who's to know?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Ooh,
Certainly a thought-provoking question.
Lex, had a brief encounter with a shadow creature when I was younger. Would that be something for you or Dark Waters?
You can, I'll tell you like this, you can take that story to whoever you please. Dark Waters is a good friend of mine. But when it comes to shadow people, I kind of a veteran YouTube writer for that. I have six. I mean, I think I'm on my sixth or seventh shadow people story. So if you would like to add to that, if you have a very interesting experience, you know, you're more than welcome to send it to me, or you could send it to whoever you like. I don't think Dark Waters typically does shadow people stories, but I guarantee you he is aware of them. I know that for a fact. And yeah, if you want to send it to me, it'll probably go in with one of my. I have I think two documents waiting to be written by me with subscriber shadow people stories, like shorter ones. If it's going to be 4 pages long by itself, then that might be something that will get its own video. But if it's a smaller thing, even if it's just, you know, a page, if it's interesting, I'd be more than happy to look at it and let you know if I would fit it into a video. So yeah, just send me an email if you'd like, and I will look right into that.
I actually have a question about shadow people. Since
Sure.
you've been like working with this subject for a while, is a shadow person strictly something that you can see, or has there been encounters with them like in your dreams? And I use the term dream loosely. So
Yes, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, shadow people are typically seen while you're awake, but I mean, I've personally seen shadow people during sleep paralysis, for
yeah.
example, and I know that it's sleep paralysis. I at least some of the time, and yeah, they can basically appear whenever your brain is ready to perceive them. I think, as far as what they are, whether they have a choice in that or what they do, I have my theories, but I don't think anybody has any solid you know input on that. It's definitely one of the most near and dear subjects to my heart, though, because I grew up in a family that had a history with those things.
Maybe my experience was just a dream then.
Well, what was your experience?
Well, about 2 months, I guess, maybe 2 months now. I was okay. When I dream, I have very vivid dreams. I remember everything. I can, change them if I want to do something else or whatever. A lot of
Hmm.
my dreams deal with me talking to different people. Well, one of
Mhm.
this dream that I'm talking about, it was what I would actually consider a shadow person because it was a shadow person. It looked very solid, but he was sitting on my bed and we were talking. I don't have any idea what we were talking about. I was just laying there and I was just kind of absorbing the conversation, but it seemed to be important. And I started to wake up. I felt myself start to like come around and, feel my surroundings and, be aware of things. And he got up and started to walk away. And I remember like kind of yelling, "Don't go." And he turned
Hmm.
around and he just flashed me these bright white eyes and this bright white smile. And it startled me. It scared me. And it was almost the intent was, why would you want me to come back? Look at this. And then he just turned around and walked away.
Hmm.
So, yeah, probably just a dream.
Hmm. You sure that wasn't me in your dream?
I'm
Uh,
sure.
I've been
It
known
was
to
just
pop up
really
sometimes.
weird.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
That
wish
is
I could
weird.
remember what it was telling me because it seems so important. But I have
Hmm.
no idea.
You know what? I mean, that seems to happen a lot, especially when it's a one-on-one conversation. A lot of the dreams that people tell me about, which is pretty frequently, they don't remember the crucial. They always feel like there's something crucial that they're not remembering, that they didn't pick up on, or what have you. And I think that kind of just speaks to whatever your inner feelings. Like maybe you're missing something in life. Maybe you're feeling like there's something you should be aware of, something that you should be picking up on, but that you're missing. You know, that would kind of lead me to think that there's symbolism there, not that
Yeah.
it's an actual conversation and that's real, that has some real information that you needed. It might just be your mind telling you, hey, you need to pay closer attention to something. You
Which
know
I
what I
could
mean?
definitely see. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of us, I mean, who isn't in that boat? Yeah, that's always that's interesting though. I'm actually getting ready to hopefully sometime this weekend. I'm going to be putting together a compilation of all the shadow people stories that I've ever done, and even I'm re-recording the one that I sent to Unit 522 regarding my sleep paralysis slash shadow man craziness that I've gone through for the past several years of my life.
Mm.
And I'm going to put that all together. It's probably going to be like an hour long. So hopefully,
Oh, wow.
anybody who's interested in shadow people will give that a listen, because it's going to be. I mean, and especially the first few, they have like a lot of cool sound effects and a lot of ambient music and sounds and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun.
Sounds cool.
All right.
I think I missed a
Okay.
big part of a conversation in the chat because Corey White, that's freaky. Um,
Well,
I
let's
work
see.
with unnatural death, murder, suicide, accident, mysterious. I have some crazy, nasty, sad stories. Would you be interested?
Corey White. I would certainly, absolutely be interested in that, because not to be morbid, that's it's a really, I'm not saying that I love that those types of things happen, of course, but believe me when I tell you, I'm quite well aware that people like you are very necessary in this world, in this society. So I appreciate your willingness to put up with things like that. And it's not, I know it's not easy, and I know that from some level of experience. So thank you, and I would definitely love to read any stories that you would have for me. Just shoot me an email, and we will start the conversation on that. Hmm. Let me see. So we're going to wrap it up pretty soon here, now that I got that drawing out of the way. So I will assist you in trying to go through the chat and see if any questions can be answered real quick before we jump off of here. Let me see. I see a lemon tree, my dear Watson. Are shadow people always malevolent, or can they ever be helpful, like serve as a warning? I have never encountered a shadow person myself personally that was there to do anything but project almost palpable levels of hatred toward me, or physically cause my body pain. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there are some, even if it's more of an ominous type of presence, I'm sure some of them serve as warnings of some sort. I mean, I would never, I don't personally know, but I'm pretty sure I've heard stories of things like that, and I would never group an entire class of being that I don't even understand as malevolent or labeling them in any way. And little snips, yes, there are shadow girls for sure. They're not all men. And by the way, in my first shadow people video, which you'll hear on here pretty soon, sometime within the next couple of weeks, there is a little shadow girl with pigtails that is trying to basically fool my uncle into thinking that it's his sister, and that probably would not have worked out well for him if he had fallen for that. Thankfully, he did not. So yeah, either they can be male or female, or they're probably just amorphous, can appear whichever way they choose. So yeah, it's a good question. What are we doing for Thanksgiving, Nix?
Oh goodness. Well, I have a pretty small family, so the holidays are always, just a little intimate gathering. So, nothing big, just family.
That's good. I mean, I have a kind of a bigger family, and it usually ends up being, if I go there for Thanksgiving, it's like all day long of cooking, because you have to cook that much to feed everybody. And then by the time it's late, the cooking is done, everybody's exhausted, and you sit around and eat, and then it's late and you're just sitting there eating all this food. So then we just turn into giant slugs and, just hang around. That's normally the way Thanksgiving has gone in recent years, but what we're trying to do this year is cook a little bit less food, keep it a little bit lighter, so we have more time and energy later to, sit around. And like I said, I'm from a family of storytellers, so a couple of years ago we sat around and told stories for hours, and that was the best Thanksgiving we'd ever had. Just sitting around a fire and saying, I know it's in Florida, but we still have little fire pits and stuff. And just telling my brother is even greater, a much greater storyteller than I am. He can tell you a crazy plot twisting story from off the top of his head live at a moment's notice. It's a tremendous skill that he has. And he was sitting around with, at the fire with everybody and telling amazing stories. And then I was telling whatever, my stories. My uncle was telling his stories. It was a great time. That's what my family does for fun. And when we have a really good Thanksgiving, that's basically how it is.
That sounds really nice.
Hopefully that's what happens this year, and we don't just end up vegging around in food comas all night. That's no fun. All right, guys. Well, Son of Anarchy, I saw you sent an email. I will be answering that as soon as I can. Lemon Tree, my dear Watson, you're welcome. I'm glad I was able to catch your question. If anybody asked a question that we didn't get to, our apologies. It's not easy to keep up with this stuff sometimes when you're busy and talking and answering other questions. If you guys have questions that you really want answered, put it in the comments section after this live stream closes. And as always, I will definitely get to it. I'm still at the level where I'm able to answer pretty much all of these comments on these videos, so feel free to leave it there if you really want your question answered. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Thank you so much for coming and for listening to us and participating. You guys always have great participation in these live streams, and short notice, you guys came out and hung out with us, and actually Nick's got even less notice than you guys got. So thank you so much, Nix, for coming and being here for me. As you know, you are a staple. I could not do these live streams without you. The way I'm doing, like with this one, couldn't do it without you. And
Aw.
thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, Corey White's he's gonna be, or he or she, they are going to be in touch with us. So that's going to be interesting. And Big Sweet Tooth, yeah, send me what you got. Anybody who's got something to send me, you send it to me, and I will get back to you about it, whether I'm going to be able to do it or not. Brian's World, you have a good night, my friend, and you guys all take care, be well, and do great things, as I'm sure you will. And Nix, once again, thank you so much, my dear friend. And you guys,
Anytime.
yeah, I appreciate it. I know you're good for it too, because you've proven yourself again and again. And hey, you're welcome, Kitty. Brooklyn, you have a good rest of your Friday night. And we are signing out. And don't forget, subscribe to Nix if you haven't already. I'm putting a link to her channel in the description box.
Aw.
Penny Dreadful Moment. So you guys, most of the people who are here probably already have. But in the future, a message for those denizens of the future Earth who have not seen this live stream yet. Please go ahead and do that. Otherwise, got anything else for them, Nix?
No. Good night, everybody.
All right. Love you guys.